Every guitarist knows how to play the basic open chords like the C major, the A major, the D major, or the G major. But do you actually know why they are built this way? By the end of this video, you will know how to build major and minor chords, and I will teach you at least 2 different positions for all major and minor chords. Let's get into it. Most self-taught guitarists, me included, learn the guitar by learning new songs over and over again. And I remember encountering many chords I really didn't understand with weird letters and weird numbers. Overall, once you know how to build chords, tabs won't simply appear as instructions to follow and learn by heart, but they will appear as progressions and logic in a way that will help you understand musicality. So before we get into it, I just need to make sure that you understand key principles on guitar theory that will help you understand chord building. You need to know your notes in order, and you need to know all the notes on the fretboard, and you also need to know the major scale for all the notes. Now, don't worry, I made videos on all these key elements, so make sure to check them out before going further in the video. So to understand chord building, let's start and build our own chord starting from the C chord. And for that, we will need the C major scale. The intervals go from the root note to the octave. Now, the theory behind chords relies on this simple fact that chords are built on thirds. So to build a chord, if we start from the C note, we're going to pick the major third if we want to build a major chord, and we're going to pick a minor third if we want to build a minor chord. So in our case, for the C major chord, we're going to pick the major third, which is the E note, and we're going to pick the perfect fifth, which is a G. And now you can notice that the distance between the E and the G notes is a third, which explains why chords are built on thirds. So we have these 3 notes, C, E, and G. And now if we pick up our guitar and play an open C, we have the root note being the C, the third being the E, and the fifth being the G. And so these 3 notes can be used as many times as you want on the guitar neck. This won't change the chord, it will remain a C major chord. Now that we've built the first chord, the C chord, and transcribed it on the guitar neck, let's try and build our other chords. So if we start from the A major scale and build the chord with thirds, the notes that will build the A major chord are going to be the A, the root note, the C sharp, which is the major third note, and the E, which is the perfect fifth. Now, a good exercise for you is to find all the chords remaining. So we did the C and the A, so there are 10 other notes in music, and there are 10 other chords you can build from there. So pick the major scales one at a time, and pick the major third and the perfect fifth to build a major chord. And if you want to build a minor chord, just pick a minor third and a perfect fifth. And now you can build major and minor chords, so congratulations. It is that easy. By just changing one note, a major chord will sound very open, very bright, and very warm, whereas a minor chord will sound darker, more sad, and more emotional. And remember that chords are basically built on 3 notes. Now, it is possible to add a 4th note, that often is the 7th note, but this will not be detailed in this video. I think it's best to have 2 separate videos, so that this video will just help you understand the fundamental of chord building, and then later on we can get into more detailed and more difficult chords. Make sure to like this video for part 2. Now, if you pick up your guitar, you are able to find all the major and minor chords you just built, because you know the notes. Now, I'm going to show you that if you know one chord shape, you're going to be able to know all major and minor chords in 2 different positions. Let me explain. If we play the E major, which sounds like this, we have our 3 notes that build the major chord. And if we want to play a minor chord, we just have to pick the major third, which is an A flat, and replace it with a G, which is the minor third. And so if we play an E minor, it sounds like this. And so if we transpose this E chord shape to the next strings, what does it mean? Well, if we go back to theory, if we look at the standard tuning being E, A, D, G, B, E, we notice that the distance between each note is a perfect fourth. Between the E and the A, it's a perfect fourth, etc., etc. Except between the G and the B, where the distance is only of a major third. So every time a spot jumps from the G to the B string, that spot also has to slide down one fret. So if we pick the E chord and slide it down, we have our spot here in the G string that will slide to the B string and this has to slide down one fret. The remaining spots stay the same, so we unlock this chord, which is, you may have recognized it, the A major chord. So the E and the A chords are exactly the same. Now if we want to play an A minor chord, it's the same principle. The major third here has to become a minor third, and so we just, if we do the exact process and transpose a perfect fourth again, so one string, end up here. But then we also have to slide this spot down one fret because the B string is involved, and we end up with this chord, which you may have recognized as the D major chord. So, to sum it up, if we start from the E major chord shape, we unlock the A major chord shape and the D major chord shapes. These three chords have the exact same order of notes and are technically the same shape, just taking into account that the B string is an exception and we have to slide everything down one fret each time we encounter it. But we have these three chords, some of you might have guessed it, but starting from here, we will be able to unlock two different positions for all minor and major chords. If we slide these shapes horizontally on the same strings, we will unlock every new chord in music. So if we start from the E chord shape and slide everything one fret to unlock the F major chord. Same principle, if you want to play an F minor chord, we just have to remove the finger and play the minor third. On and on again down the neck. And now this principle applies to the other two shapes. So if we take the A major and slide down one fret, on and on again. And same thing goes for the D chord. Sliding down one fret will unlock a D sharp or an E flat, on and on again down the neck. As you may have guessed, these unlock two positions for all minor and major chords, but there are countless ways to play them because it's just a combination of three notes that can be played in any order in any repetition you want. These variations create what we call voicings. You don't even have to play the root note as your lowest note, especially when playing in a band with a bass player. So we can play chords with the basic 1-3-5 order, or we can play them with the 3-1-5 order, or the 5-3-1 order. It will create variations. With this theory, you can already play around a lot. So by the end of this first part, you now know how to build major and minor chords, and you know two positions for all of them. And since you also know how chords are built, you can find countless other triads on your guitar neck. So make sure to play around and practice them, because in the next video we will discuss what happened when we add a fourth note, and we'll discuss the chord names around them. So make sure to subscribe and stay tuned.